All right, so as I'm designing my course, I'm starting to settle in, and I'm doing the entire work in Google Docs and Google Drive. And I'm starting to get into a rhythm, and you'll notice right here, here's my rhythm. I'm starting to notice that each class, each week on my syllabus is going to have some stuff for things that we're going to do during class, and then it's going to have some stuff that we're going to do, that my students are going to do during the week when they're away at home, and like homework assignments, okay? And then I've been organizing all of these things in my Google Drive, because that's an easy way for me to organize my thinking and do all the content creation. So I've got my assignments. I realized I wanted to find a video and have my students write some sort of reflection question based on what they observe on the video. Those reflection questions are good because then it's an accountability piece. Now I know my students have watched the video. Here's my weekly Google Slides that I'm going to use to lecture from. Here's a couple of assignments, assignment readings that my students are going to do, a weekly assignment that they're going to do, and then maybe some sort of in-class task. And I'm starting to get into this rhythm that's what each week is going to look like. My lecture slides, some class assignment, and then some homework assignments, a video, some reading, maybe some sort of forum discussion, and that's what this is going to be. All right, so there we go. And now it's time for me to start linking. Now, right now, these links go directly to these items in my Google Drive. But eventually what I need to do is I need to start getting these links here in eLearn, because this is where the links are going to go to eLearn, but really this is the accountability piece is going to live inside eLearn. That's where the points are going to be assigned. The grade book is going to be connected. That's why we actually need eLearn, and we can't, for better or for worse, just live in the Google Drive document ecosystem, because really we want to get everything into eLearn where the grading is going to become possible. Okay, so right now I want to start by inserting just links to my Google Slides. And I'm going to go down to week 1. Week 0, maybe counterintuitively, is one of the last things I insert. So I'm going to skip week 0 right now. Basically, week 0 is where things like the syllabus and my contact information is going to go, but I leave that for the very end. Okay, so now week 1, I want to start inserting my Google Slides. All right, so let's just build week 1, and I'm going to turn editing on, and I want to insert my Google Slides. There's 2 ways to do it. One is a direct link, and the other is by creating a page. I'm going to show you both methods. They both work equally well. All right, so the first one is for me to create a direct link. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to right click on my Google Slides. I'm going to get the link to my Google Slides, making sure my students can view it right here, making sure my view settings are correct. I'm going to copy my link, click done. I'm going to go back into my eLearn, and I am in editing mode because I see all these pencils and add an activity right now. If I wasn't in editing mode, the button up at the top would be green and I would not have any pencils. So I'm going to turn editing on, and there is week 1. And I'm going to go over here and click add an activity or resource. And right here is all of the activities and resources that you can choose from, it's the URL one that we're going to use. I have starred it, so it's going to show up on my starred list right here. So I'm going to click on URL, and I'm going to call this week 1 Google Slides. I'm going to paste in the URL, and right now everything else is probably going to stay default. So I'm going to click on appearance, and I'm going to it's going to open up the slides in a new window. This URL variables, you're just going to ignore it. You're never going to use the URL variables. The common module settings, of course, you're going to show this on page. You're not going to hide it from the students. If it's hidden from the students, they cannot access it. So you're going to show it on your course page. You're probably not going to restrict your access or alter your tags or competencies. We're not really using tags or competencies in eLearn. So there you go. All I did is name it, paste in the URL. Everything else as default was perfect. I'm going to click Save and Return to Course. Now, what does this look like? Here it is, right there. And if I want to turn off editing mode, there it is. It's a direct link. When I click on it, it opens up a new window and it goes directly to the Google Slides that I want my students to have access to. So that's one way to insert your Google Slides, just a direct link. A second way is to create a page and then put the link on the page. And I'll tell you why you might want to do that. So I'm going to turn editing on right here. And I'm going to add an activity, and I'm going to go to all, and I'm going to use page. Page is somewhere right here. Page right there. I have starred it so it shows up in my starred list right here because I use page all the time. So I'm going to insert a page, and I'm going to call this Week 1 Google Slides. It's okay if it has the same name. And I'm going to leave the description alone. I don't need to type in any description here. I can leave that blank. Now here is the page content that will be displayed when my students click on the link. So I might think of this as a web page, but I'm not going to do a lot of creation here. Most of my creation, my typing and inserting images, is going to occur inside my Google Docs. But right here, I might just say link to Google Slides, and I'll put the link right there. If I want, I can highlight it, and I can click on the link button and paste that same URL and open in new window. So now it's a clickable link. And the reason I might do this is do it this way. And I can click Save and Return to Course. There it is. So to contrast these two, the direct link, I just click and it immediately opens up the Google Slides. Or I click this one. This goes to a page first. Then I click on the link and it opens up the slides in a separate window. Now, why might I do it this second way? It seems like extra work. Well, that's because I'm going to go back into my course and I'm going to go down here and I'm going to edit this page that has the link to the Google Slides right there. A lot of my faculty members, they want to type in a bunch of stuff here in the description. Nothing goes in the description. It all goes here in the page content. All right, now, why might I do it this way? Well, I might want to include some sort of introductory sentence. Purpose. The purpose for these slides is to help you get a better idea of blah, 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 blah. And that is where boom, 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 boom. And so you might give some sort of introductory purpose before your students click on the link. If you want, you can even insert an image. So maybe I've got an image over here. So inserting an image, I might click on, put my cursor where I want the image to go, drag in my image right here, and I'm going to click on that image and then click the image button. I'm going to shrink it significantly. Oh, let's make it 300 and align it to the right. And then look at that. Now I'm going to do Save and Return to Course. And then when I click on it, oh, look at that. I have a purpose. I might do some simple little image right here and then the link here. So you have two choices for how you're going to link to your Google Slides. More often than not, I use the direct link, but sometimes I do use this page method that will link to my Google Slides simply because I need to give some sort of introductory purpose. So as I was creating my course on farm animals, I was inserting my Google Slides, and I started to get a sense that my Google Slides were self-explanatory. I didn't really need this method of embedding the link in a page with some sort of purpose or explanatory paragraph. So I've decided everything is going to have a direct link to my Google Slides, which means I don't need this flavor, so to speak, of linking to my Google Slides. So I'm just going to click that edit, and then I'm going to delete this version right here, and I still have my link that goes directly to the week 1 slides, like that. And that wraps up inserting Google links or links to my Google Slides.